Hey y'all, I'm here. Breaking news. Tory Lanez has just been sentenced to 10 years in prison for the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. This literally just came out a minute ago. Shout out to my girl, Megan Cuniff. I think that's how you say her name. She has been the most reliable source on this. Y'all tried to call her biased. I find that funny that y'all tried to call her biased, but y'all don't call academics biased. Y'all don't call anybody else biased, but she's biased when she's actually been putting out all of the facts, like the actual facts, the lines, the actual like verbatim stuff that's been coming out of the court. But I just want to say this. I'm not going to say I'm jumping up and down. The reason I'm jumping up and down for joy is because I'm glad that this is over with. This has been 3 years of nonsense. And I want to say this case has really, in the beginning, triggered the hell out of me because all of the caping and capping that you niggas and bitches did for Tory Lanez in the beginning. I'm talking about it got underneath my skin so badly at one point in time. And somewhere down the road, I just had to, you know what, tell myself, I'm not going to even get myself disinvested in what other people got to say. I stand on what I stand on, and you can believe whatever it is that you want to believe. Let me make this very clear on where I stand with this whole situation. I believe that Tory did Megan. I believe that it was not his intention to her. But I do believe the story of him doing so in her direction. Now, do I think he meant to hit her? No. Which is why I believe that in the beginning, Megan wasn't going to say anything. Because people like to sit up here and act like Megan went out of her way to tell on this man. When initially in the beginning, and I've had many conversations about this on my channel, about how as black women, there's plenty of times that a man, specifically a black man, if we talk about in the black community, I'll speak with black men, will do us wrong or do something wrong, and we do not go to the authorities. Why? Because what we want done versus what we think the cops are gonna do is the gap is crazy. So half the time we'll just take the chin check and we'll take the L just because we might understand that your intention wasn't that, or it might have possibly been a mistake, or even if it wasn't a mistake, what we want to happen to you versus what the police is gonna do or the system is gonna do is way worse than than what we actually want. However, as the judge pointed out before his ruling, Tory went out of his way to antagonize the hell out of her, which is why she came out and eventually pushed this, because sis didn't say nothing the first couple of days that this happened. It wasn't until Tory and his team started to feed the blogs information to make Meg look like the bad person. That's when she had to come out and say, you want to know what? Seeing how you, and if you go back and watch that live that she did when everything happened, she said, I was not going to say anything, but you want to go to the blogs with your people and try to make me seem like I'm the bad person? Now let's talk about it. Don't play with her name. Even after that, even after Meg came out and said what she said, you continuously ran your mouth. You had, I want to say this, as somebody who is currently getting their, in the process of trying to get their law degree, you had terrible representation across the board. Because the fact that, no, I don't want to say nobody told you this, either nobody told you or you did not listen. But the fact that you did not keep your mouth shut this entire time leading up to this case. You should have kept, your mum is the word. You should have kept your mouth shut. Because even the judge cited before sentencing that he was not going to take, he wasn't going to take certain aggravating factors and remorse, there we go, into consideration with his sentencing. But what he would take into consideration is all of the stuff that you did after the situation happened and before the trial even started. Teaming up with academics to try to get certain information out there, making diss tracks, being on the shade room and the blogs and sending shots and stuff like that. I don't know who your representation was, but either A, they were terrible, or you were terrible at listening to them. Whether or not you feel like, I don't put it like this, I don't care even if you feel like he didn't do it. The fact that he continued to run his mouth with an active case open like that Celebrity or not, mum is the word. When they say you have the right to remain silent, that is for a reason, because everything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. So when you are in the midst of an active case like this, you keep your mouth shut, especially when you are being accused of something. And the thing about it is, everybody wants, people always start talking about some, oh, he didn't have the chance. He had multiple chances once this case started to tell his side of the story. He declined to get on the stand. He could have, he did not. Meg got on the stand and said what she needs to say. Kelsey got on the stand and pretty much said absolutely nothing. But he could have had the opportunity to get on the stand. And he kept saying leading up to the case, I can't wait till y'all hear my side. But he never told his side. Even all the way up until right before he was indicted, he never told his side. So again, you kept saying, I can't wait till y'all hear my side. What is your side? You've had multiple times since throughout this case to tell your side, and you have not. Because it's all bullshit. Point blank, period. It's all bullshit. Then let's talk about throughout this whole process of them sentencing him and his lawyers. Again, I don't understand your representation. I'm gonna assume that your representation, because I know that he ended up switching lawyers, they must have just been grasping at straws at that point, because they probably didn't really have anything else. But they came out pretty much and said like, oh well, he didn't do it, but if he did do it, then y'all should sentence him to therapy and probation. When first of all, probation was never on the table for the crimes that he committed, because he's a felon, because it involved a gun, because it was assault. Probation was never on the table. So what I'm lost at is everybody talking about, oh, he should have got probation. He's gonna get probation. He's gonna get probation. I just had to explain this to my boyfriend like a couple hours ago. Probation is not even on the table, and they said that multiple times. Even the judge said that. Y'all are asking for probation, but for this particular crime, it's not on the table. It's just not. So all of y'all mad about that? Get mad at the state laws for California, because it's not on the table, and he's a felon on top of that. Okay, maybe if he wasn't a felon, it might have went a little bit differently for him. He might have had a little bit more leeway. But the fact that he's a felon, and on top of that, the actual charges of itself, probation was not on the table. So them asking for that was a Hail Mary within itself, and that was even said during the proceedings. Okay. But anyway, for them to say, oh, if he didn't do it, but if he did do it, then it's because of his drinking problem and because of his childhood trauma. And even the judge came out and said, well, hold on. He's never admitted to doing this. So if he's never admitted to it, how can I take into consideration the fact that he's an alcoholic and the fact that he has childhood trauma? For me to take those things into consideration, he would have to admit to doing it, which he did not. So you can't play the O.J. Simpson role of, oh, well, if I did, then you should sentence me to that. It doesn't work like that. If you was going to take responsibility, you should have took responsibility. So the two main ways that Tory really messed up, outside of obviously the actual crime itself, is running his mouth non-stop and trying to spin the narrative after the situation happened versus keeping his mouth shut. And number two, now at the very end trying to claim, oh well, it's because I'm like this and it's because I'm like that. It's too late for all of that. You either A, should have just fessed up to what you did, and the DA probably would have worked with you, especially Meg probably would have been like, all right, it's cool, just give him whatever it is that you want to give him. Or you shouldn't have said nothing at all. But you can't play two sides of the fence. You have to pick a side of the fence to stand on. But I don't want to spend too much time on him. I pray. Oh, one last thing. I see that he also said after sentencing that he always looks at Meg as a friend, and that him and Meg bonded a lot because both of their mothers, are no longer here, which we both know that about both of them. Which I find even more disgusting, that this is the road that you chose to go down. Even with your mother being gone, Tory, you still have your father. You still have your stepmother. You still have other family members to pretty much help you out. And that's where I want to end talking about Tory, because I don't care no more. The way that this woman has been treated throughout this trial has been disgusting. I'm talking about top tier disgusting across the board. Y'all are disgusting. Y'all are all disgusting. That woman has nobody. I'm talking about truly nobody, as far as like, you know for a fact, hands down, really have you. She don't have her mama. She don't have her daddy. I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure if her grandma passed away, like her grandma's like really, really sick. She doesn't have anybody that you know for a fact you can turn to and be like, yes, that person got my back regardless of whatever it is that everybody else is saying. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she has people that's backing her. I know like J and B and stuff like that still has her back and things like that. But she don't have nobody like that. Not the way that Tory, at the bare minimum, Tory could at least turn to his ain't shit father and be like, well, at least my father got my back. Who has Meg's back? Who has her back unconditionally? Regardless of fame, money, connection. Who has her back? She not in a relationship no more. So again, that's fleeting even in itself. I pray for her mental health. I'm pretty sure that even with him, I do watch the Joe, as much as Joe Budden pisses me off, I do watch that podcast here and there. And Park said on it, which I really agree, is that he said, I think if anything, Meg herself is going to be fucked up mentally, because I'm pretty sure she didn't even want it to go that far. I agree. I do too. I think the fact that, and I know people are going to disagree with me because of the statement that she had put out and stuff like that, but I am pretty sure that that shit still probably bugged her, because she probably never expected it to go this far. You're supposed to be my friend. Forget the fact that we was fucking around, but who cares about that? You're supposed to be my friend. And like you said, if y'all was really bonding with each other over the loss of y'all mothers, of both of y'all mothers, I can only imagine how painful that is. Even though I'm saying, yeah, put you away, that's probably still painful to have to do. I pray for that girl and her mental health. I pray for her stability. I pray for her to be able to weather the storm that's coming, because it's gonna get a little hectic for her. I'm pretty sure she's staying off of social media, but it's gonna get a little hectic for her over the next couple of days. But that's another thing too I want to say about this. I put this on Twitter. All you hashtag free Tory Lanez niggas, I hope y'all holding him down for the next decade, but y'all won't. Y'all move on to the next story. Like I said, give it about 2.5 to 3 days. Y'all move on to something else. Y'all not gonna put money on this man books for the next 10. Well, he got 10 years. You gotta do 85% of the term. Plus, if you give him time served. So he probably will do like maybe 7.5 years, or whatever the case may be. Y'all not gonna hold him down for the next 7 to 8 years. Y'all not gonna help put money on this man's books. Y'all not gonna stream his music. Y'all not gonna go around for the next 7 years. The only thing that y'all gonna do for the next couple years is when Meg comes out, have something to say about Tory. But outside of that, y'all are gonna do nothing to support this man. So all of this free this and free that and free this. If y'all feel that way, put up the money to help that man get out. Put up the money to help that man with his legal fund. But none of y'all are gonna do it. Y'all just using it as a talking point. So to me, all of this other stuff is null and void. Like I said, this will be a news cycle. Give it a couple days. What's today? Thursday? No, today's Wednesday. So Tuesday. To give it by the weekend, probably Monday, nobody will be talking about this shit no more. And y'all will only bring it up when Meg comes out to try to discredit her and try to talk down on her, because y'all have nothing better to do. But y'all, what I have to say is, I'm glad that this whole situation is done and over with. Like Meg said in her last interview, she don't want to talk about it no more. I don't want to hear about it no more. Okay? So, all of you who have nothing better to do in life, go ahead and tap away. But I want to let y'all know, all of that tapping is not going to get that man out of jail. It's not going to get him out of jail. So, type away as much as y'all want to. Do the think pieces and the black men are this and the black man are this and the black women hate black men. Do that for the next 3 to 4 days, and then you guys will move on to whatever the hell Travis Scott dropped, or to whatever the hell stupid shit Academic said, or to whatever the hell Playboy Cardi or something like that put out, and we'll move on. So she just gotta weather the storm for the next couple of days. People talking about it heavily, and then it'll be over. Because that's how you niggas are. You claim you're so down for something, and then give it a couple days, y'all move on. Y'all move on. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I pray for Meg. And I pray for her mental stability and her mental health. And that's all I got. I'm bye.